Hello everyone, I'm Attila Szekely, VP Strategic Partnerships at OpenClassrooms. It's great to be with you this morning. So in the next 7 minutes I'm going to talk about who OpenClassrooms are and how what we are doing is relevant to the flagship topic of this edition of the conference, which is the future of work. For those who don't know us, we are the leading professionally oriented online education platform in Europe and Africa. We are based in France, and we have approximately 3 million learners every month on our platform in 120 countries. Our mission, if I find the right button, is about making education accessible. Specifically, the type of education that we would like to make accessible is professional and post-secondary education. So our primary market is continuing education, but our model is also a quite nice fit for younger students who do not have access to traditional education or who are interested in a more flexible model. Our model is quite simple. We prepare people to the jobs of tomorrow with a quite strong focus on digital and technology-related jobs, of course. But we are increasingly focusing also on other job roles in the services sector, which are deeply impacted by technological transformation, such as finance, HR, or marketing, for example. As you can see on this slide, we concentrate on different levels of qualifications, from associates to master's level, because we believe that it is as important to offer master's levels programs to those who already have a bachelor's degree as offering entry-level programs to those who have lower levels of qualifications, but who would like to change careers into the jobs of tomorrow. So how does our model actually differ from the other online learning platforms? There are a lot of companies who offer different pieces and chunks of the value chain within education. Our approach is slightly different. So we have a full stack approach. We really go through the every level of the value chain from education to employment. So let's have a look at how this looks like. So first of all, of course, we have built our own platform that we use to deliver our courses, but not only courses. Similar to the approach that you have just seen before, we integrate into the learning experience projects, mentorship, job placement as well, which is a differentiating point. So everything that you see on the slide is integrated into the learning experience. Second, we have our internal instructional design team. Actually, it's more than an instructional design team, it's more a faculty, because not only they build the content, they also design the curriculum. But more about that when I talk about accreditation. Three, we have a competency-based, project-driven approach, because we believe that the best way to learn today is learning by doing, with a mastery type of approach. So all of our students who are studying on a degree level need to work on real-life projects. They need to build websites, they need to create digital marketing campaigns, or build machine learning models, for example. Four, each and every student in our degree level programs is offered a weekly individual one-to-one mentoring session of 1 hour through video conference in order to help them succeed. That's really important for the success of our students. And we can do that because we have developed a framework in which basically we can source, train, map, and pay a network of freelance mentors who work for us. Right now, we have roughly 500 of those. Six, we are a higher education establishment ourselves, so that's a quite interesting point. That means that our degree-level programs can award either our own diplomas, which are accredited at a bachelor's or a master's level, and are recognized in 50 countries throughout the Bologna process, or actual academic degrees of one of our academic partners who we are working with. Seven, we offer a job guarantee. That means that if our students do not get a job within the 6 months after their graduation, then we reimburse 100% of the tuition fees. That's quite a commitment. And what it means, with other words, is that we are so obsessed about employability that if we fail to prepare someone to get a job, then we simply refuse to accept their money. And the last point, apprenticeship, is a new work-based learning model that we have developed at Capgemini. So that's really about transposing the European apprenticeship system to the world of online degrees. And what it does, it helps students to alternate periods of learning with periods of professional experience. So actually, we are really becoming sort of a talent marketplace, really sitting between employers and students. What it means is that employers who are struggling to recruit in one specific area, such as an example, Capgemini, you are Capgemini, you are struggling to recruit Java developers. What you can do is that you can create your own talent supply chain. You can source people from the OpenClassrooms learning community who do not have yet the skills, but who have the potential to acquire those skills. So that's the model that we have built with Capgemini. Usually we start with a 3 months full-time upskilling period, followed by a shift system in which basically candidates spend 4 days a week working and 1 day per week continuing their master's level program. So where we are heading to right now is sort of a system in which big global employers can say, hey, in Q1 2019, I need 15 business consultants in France, I need 20 Java developers in Morocco, and 50 data scientists in India, and we are going to source these people from the learning community and train them on the job. So that's quite interesting for the students because they get full funding, they can get a master's or bachelor's levels qualification, they get a job from day one of their training program and the salary. And for employers, it's quite interesting as well because they can have the right skills at the right time, at the right location. So that's a model that we really believe in.
In that example, is Capgemini funding the training?
Yes. You also have very interesting funding systems, especially in Europe, in which employers need to pay a tax for apprenticeships in France, in the UK. In the US, it's slightly different, but those funding systems help a lot in order to implement these type of models. So obviously, the nice thing about this model is that obviously it creates a better alignment between the skills requirements of employers and the workforce, but it also creates a huge amount of social value because it helps reducing unemployment. It provides access to reskilling programs to people who wouldn't necessarily be able to afford educational programs. So that's really where we are heading to. I hope you enjoyed learning more about our model. If you are an academic institution or an employer interested in delivering fully online programs combining academic credentials and job placement solutions, then do not hesitate to reach out. Thank you very much for your attention and enjoy the conference.